Hello everyone, welcome back to Bullet Journaling with Eva. Today I am excited to set up my September bullet journal with you. The theme is coffee or coffee shop, which you choose on Instagram and on my YouTube community. So let's dive in. As always, we will start with the materials. Here you can see the washi tape I will be using. It's the Hinoki washi tape themed around coffee, and I have cut out some stickers from it that I'm going to use as inspiration. We will also need water and some brushes because we are working with Aquarelle colored pencils. I will need a ruler, a BLUMAD white acrylic marker, and an eraser. The star of this video are the Aquarelle colored pencils, which you can use like regular pencils or blend with water for a nice effect. We are also going to use some spare paper, Unipin point liners in 3 different sizes. I will explain which size to use for what in the video, and then this dual tip brown marker. We are going to use both the brush side and the fine line side of it. We are going to use this SB56 Sipa calligraphic pen. I will be working in my Tsuki Nura edition bullet journal from Notebook Therapy. Now that we have everything we need, let's set up and start decorating. Grab a sip of coffee or your favorite drink and let's dive in. First, I am going to write the title. Using the brown brush pen, I will write the first 3 letters of September. So, Sept. Then, with the 0.8 point liner, I will write the full September in italic. Now let's move on to decorating. I want to show you the 4 stickers I have chosen to use in my bullet journal. The first one is this one with a mug, cake and rosemary. I will use it for my cover page and calendar. For my trackers, I will use 2 different stickers. The first one is the coffee design that I also saw in Anne's video, and I am going to pin it here. This will be for the habit tracker. For my weekly actions, I am using a shelf filled with plants, and instead of a mug, I will be drawing a coffee maker. For the last spread, the Grateful For spread, the inspiration is brewing coffee with a coffee filter and a glass container. Let's get started on the cover page and my calendar. All the colors I used will be linked below, but I will start with the brown shade, tracing the edges of the tray and adding shadows. You can see the light source is from right to left, so I will add shadows on the left side of the objects. Then, I will use dark orchid and I am going to fill in the tray with it. Then I am going to take this small brush and mix the details. I will start with all the small details. the shadows, working from the darker color to the lighter color. If you want a full tutorial on how to use Aquarelle color pencils, let me know in the comments. I will be happy to prepare one for you. You can also suggest topics for future videos. I almost forgot to mention that I penciled in everything with a gray colored pencil first because it blends perfectly with other colors, so there's no need to erase lines like you would with a regular pencil. Now I will use a larger brush to blend everything on the larger areas of color. Next, I will work on the mug and the plate using the gray color and some blending. You can see that I added the shadow to the left side of the mug since the light is from the right. It's time to color the coffee with brown and dark brown. Blending it perfectly with my small brush. For the cake, I will start with this dark brown to add the biscuits. Then work on the chocolate cake glaze. If you have any ideas on what you would like to see with these water pencils, let me know in the comments. Then I will take the brown pencil and I will add the filling in and blend everything together. I will start with the darker color now, and the reason why is because it's easier for me to just add that filling with these wavy lines. The cake is done, so let's work on the rosemary. I will use this grass green color to trace my gray sketches, and then I will add some brightness with this Bice Green. Then I will blend everything with some water. You can leave it like this or add more details. I like adding details, so I will use the white BLUMAD acrylic marker to add some froth and shine on my cake. Then I'm going to take the darker shade and add the lines around the cake and some shadows. I will also trace the tray. At the end, I will do the same with this green. This setup turned out really nicely. This was the inspiration for it. And now it's time to put it away. Don't worry, I will use it in my weekly spreads. Take another sip of your drink and let's move on to the next part. I was going to draw the September calendar, but this white was screaming at me, so I first had to add some brown on top. Now I will use this dual tip marker and this fine liner to create a calendar. Since this is something that is repeated, I'm going to speed up this process. The calendar is almost done. The last thing I need to do is to add the dates or the numbers. I will speed that up because I don't want the video to be too long. After that, I will go straight to the cover page with this wonderful quote. I will write coffee with the brush pen, and I will write these small italic words with the point liner from the same dual tip marker. Then I will take the 0.8 Unipin point liner to write those two words. The first and the last letter of each word are going to be bold, and I am going to fill that it with the 0.8 point liner. To finish the quote, I will use the Sipa calligraphic pen in size SB56. The quote is, "Behind every successful person is a substantial amount of coffee." Our cover page is done. So far, we have created a calendar and this wonderful quote. This is definitely my favorite setup in this bullet journal. Now, let's work on the trackers. For the habit tracker, I choose this part of the washi tape that I cut out as a sticker. For my weekly actions, I choose these shelves with plants. Let's dive into the trackers. To avoid coloring my desk, I will use this spare paper underneath. I will start with the brown color, filling in the coffee part of the mug, and I will add some details to the coffee with dark brown. Then I will blend everything nicely together with my small brush and water. Next, I will work on the mug with this grey color, and I'm adding shadows and steam coming out of the coffee mug. At the end, I am decorating the coffee beans. As you can see, I didn't wait for the watercolor to dry out completely, so I made some dents in my page. But I can live with that. Now I am tracing everything, working on the coffee beans and adding shadows. At the end, I will add some decoration with this white BLUMAD acrylic marker on those coffee beans. And I'm adding these small dashes that I will later cover with brown. Then I will use the brush pen to write the title habit. And then I'm putting away the sticker since we are done with the decoration. With the 0.8 point liner, I will write tracker, and then I will use this point liner from the dual tip marker and the 0.05 Unipin point liner to write titles for my trackers. The habit tracker is complete. I will fill in the little calendars as I complete each habit. Now that the habit tracker is done, we can work on our little shelf and our weekly actions page. Let's place our inspiration aside, and I will start by coloring the plant pots. I will be working with the light in such a way as to ensure that the darker part of each pot is at the bottom. As you can see, I am creating lines that I will later color in with more lines concentrated at the bottom than at the top of the pot. Now I will take my brush and blend everything nicely, starting with the lightest color and working towards the darker shades. Next, I will move on to plants, mixing together Bice Green, grass green and dark green colors. I am blending at least 2 colors together, sometimes all 3, as you can see. I am trying to recreate the colors from the washi tape or on that sticker that I cut out. After that, I will blend everything in and I will work on the second shell following the same method, blending the 3 colors together and then mixing them completely with water. Now let's work on my weekly actions. Here I want the layout to resemble a shelf or a cabinet. You can see me tracing the lines. I need to ensure that color is completely dry before moving on, as wet color can create dents on the other side of the page. Once everything's dry, I will start blending the colors. I already colored the shelves. Now I'm starting with blending the color and then I will press the brush firmly to create lines that imitate a wood texture. Although this is not ideal for the brush, I love the texture it creates. I will do the same for this weekly actions table that I just created. Now we are done with blending and we need to let it dry out. My page is a bit folded due to old water, so I am using a clip to hold it down while I am working on the details. I can put aside my inspiration for later to use it as a sticker for my weekly spreads. I will take a ruler and a dark brown marker to create the lines representing each week and the actions I need to complete that week. Now I will add details to the plants, like the prickly parts of the cacti and the little accents on other elements. I need to move the weekly actions section a little bit lower because it's too close to the upper shelf and I want it to be in the middle. Then, using a Unipin point liner, I will write the subtitle. Now I will quickly rewrite all of my weekly actions, such as watering plants and cleaning the house. I almost forgot to trace this coffee maker. And now I'm just adding some final details with the Unipin point liner and this spread is done. It's time to erase the pencil markers behind the title. Our habit tracker is complete with a cute coffee mug and coffee beans. The weekly action spread featuring these wonderful plants at the top turned out beautifully. Now let's move on to the last spread of the month, where I will recreate a coffee brewing sticker. I will prepare everything and speed up this process since it mainly involves mixing colors. First, I will work on the kettle, then on the paper without coffee, followed by the filtration paper with the coffee. This is the darkest part of the spread because here we have the coffee that is not yet brewed. I am also adding specific lines to depict the folds in the filtration paper. The brewed coffee at the bottom is the darkest and gradually lightens as it goes up. For the glass, I am using blue and gray. With the illustration complete, I will take a dual tip marker to write Grateful For as the title, and erase the pencil marks behind it. Finally, I will add some details to this wonderful drawing on the right side of the spread. That's it! This spread turned out beautifully as well. Now, let's look at everything we created together. We have our calendar and cover spread. I think this illustration turned out nicely and I am really happy with it. Then we have my trackers. Here is the habit tracker with all these little calendars for each habit and this wonderful coffee mug with coffee beans, and the weekly actions where I have my shelves with plants and the cabinet to jot down completed weekly actions. Lastly, the Grateful For spread has plenty of space to write down what I am grateful for each day. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a comment about what would you like to see next. Don't forget to like the video and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any uploads. I really enjoyed this setup and I hope you did too. See you next week. Bye!